Coming up tonight on VCU InSight, we hear directly from Richmond voters on where they stand on the upcoming casino referendum. A VCU political science professor analyzes the upcoming election. We'll hear what Dr. Keena has to say. And some college students are heading to the polls for the first time. We'll tell you what you need to know to make voting go smoothly. All this and more, VCU InSight starts right now. Hello, I'm Peyton Wilson, and this is VCU InSight. With all State House and Senate seats up for grabs, the vote for a Richmond casino on the table, and local school boards and supervisors being voted on next Tuesday, the last few days of early voting are here. InSight reporter Daemon Hollinshed is at one of the early voting locations with details on how voters can assure their voices are heard.
I'm at North Courthouse Road Library, one of the 5 libraries here in Chesterfield that is offering early voting to the community. In addition to the 5 libraries, Chesterfield residents can head down to the General Registrar's office also to cast their votes. For the next 3 days, Richmond and other local county residents can cast their vote ahead of Election Day for who they want elected. Voters should first check their voter registration through the VA Department of Elections, and all they need to bring to their location is their ID. If a voter wants to vote early, however, can't make in-person voting, absentee by mail ballots are also being accepted. Curbside voting for seniors and those with disabilities are also available options. Richmond voters can vote early at Richmond City Hall and the Hickory Hill Community Center. For specific times and locations, contact your local registrar's office. Reporting from Chesterfield, for VCU InSight in the newsroom of VCU, I'm Daemon Hollinshed.
We're hearing from a VCU political science professor about this election season. Topics include voter turnout and Virginia's political future on the national stage. InSight reporter Mario Navarro is at the General Assembly building with more.
Thank you, Payne. With the election around the corner, CNS reporters had a chance to sit down with VCU political science professor Dr. Alex Keena to talk about pressing matters coming to this year's polls.
With the pivotal election coming this Tuesday, Dr. Keena expresses what is driving voters to the polls.
What issues are driving people to the polls is kind of different than what issues the campaigns are emphasizing. I think the campaigns are focusing a lot on cultural wedge issues. It's hard to know what people are really focusing on.
With political campaigns and voters not being on the same page about major issues, Dr. Keena makes note on how this affects voter turnout in this crucial election.
One of the problems is that people aren't really paying attention all that much. We're in an election where there's no statewide office on the ballot. There isn't any federal office on the ballot. So we have these elections once every 4 years. There's no governor to have coattails to help boost turnout. And so historically, these have been low turnout elections.
Even with low turnouts projected for this election, there are many important matters to decide according to Dr. Keena, some of which CNS questions such as data centers, gun control, climate change, and substance abuse. On top of the election needing to cover all of these high priority issues, this election is an indicator on the political future of Virginia, as well as a movement into the national scene.
Republicans managed to sweep and control the Senate. That looks really good for Youngkin. Youngkin can then go to the national party and say, hey, I flipped a blue state, and now we have complete control of the General Assembly.
Reporting for VCU InSight in the newsroom at VCU, my name is Mario Navarro.